Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello. If you are returning, welcome back. Oh, I still have my AirPods in. Oops. Oopsie daisies, I just filmed a reaction and I was using my AirPods to listen to the videos. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you. So if you couldn't tell, it's my first time filming in a little bit. I've been sick. My girlfriend's been sick. Life has been very hectic as of recent, so I'm happy to be back. In the meantime, I've been building a new PC because my iMac just decided to stop working. And also, I've been making a little temporary setup in the back. Because I wanted to start filming at my desk like all the time and I wanted to create some vibes. So we're here. We have cute things. This is an Animal Crossing like Polly Pocket that I found on Etsy and I'm obsessed with it. I've wanted it for such a long time. I will link it down below because it is amazing. Anyways, welcome back. I hope you like the new setup. It's only temporary till me and Avery move, but I wanted to do some nesting, so we're here. So this is like my second video back. The first one I filmed was a reaction. I don't know what order you're gonna see these in, but for the first couple videos I filmed back, I just wanted to make them like kind of silly and goofy and not a lot of big brain stuff, especially after last month too. Because last month I put out some bangers. I'm not gonna lie, I put out some bangers last month, but also they were mentally exhausting to make. Worth it, but exhausting. So yeah, and like I said, I've been sick, so I'm kind of losing my voice, and I probably sound a little phlegmy, so I apologize in advance. I thought, what better video topic just to get back into the swing of things of filming with than to catch up on our girl Amberlynn Reid, because she's still on the journey to get weight loss surgery. Some things have happened, a lot of things have not happened. But before we get into that, I want to thank today's video sponsor, Skillshare. You may know Skillshare for classes in photography, film and video editing, and illustration, but did you know Skillshare has hundreds of career-focused classes too? The new year is the perfect time, although we're in April, so you know, it's not really the new year, but it works. This year is the perfect time to reinvent your goals and yourself. Traditional work and jobs are not one size fits all. With Skillshare, you can learn how to design a career that fits you. As you may or may not know, I am a graphic designer full-time, and my current job has a very self-guided approach to teamwork. I'm very much left to my own devices, which I like, but it has been an adjustment for me because I came from another job that very much wanted to control everything that I did all the time. It's been a big adjustment for me in the realm of time management and time planning, and also having so much creative freedom has really ramped up my inner critic a lot, and I'm always second guessing myself more than usual. I feel like a lot of creatives can relate to that. So with both of those things really affecting me at work right now, two of the classes that I really want to focus on Skillshare are Productivity for Creators, Systems, Organizations, and Workflow with the teacher Ali Abdal, which covers how to start a side hustle if you want to do that, how to get motivated, how to be more efficient with our time, which is really important to me, and how to stay consistent, how to never run out of ideas. I'm very excited to learn about that. I haven't gotten to that lesson yet. And the other one I'm really excited to take is Creative Breakthrough 8 Exercises to Power Your Creativity, Confidence, and Career with Danielle Crissa. In this class, you'll learn how to find out the creative superpower that makes you unique, tangible tools to banish and block all self-doubt, and you'll do playful prompts to find your visual style and voice, which again, a lot of my fellow creatives can probably empathize with the fact that finding your own personal style is a lot of pressure and very hard a lot of the times. And you'll also learn how to create simple strategies to help you carve out your path as a creative. One of the things I've really enjoyed about Skillshare classes that I've taken in the past is that there's a whole community of people also taking these classes. And so you can see examples of other people's projects and other people's comments and questions about the course. And that was just something that I really enjoyed. Believe me, I know that thinking and planning about the future of your career can be very scary and intimidating because I'm doing that at my job right now. But Skillshare can really help you hone in on one particular particular thing at a time, and each teacher will take you step by step through the process. The first 1,000 people to click the link in my bio will get 1 free month of Skillshare to try. Thank you so much again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into the silly goofiness of this whole thing. So the first video that I want to talk about that I have seen is that Amber talks about how she's starting a new diet, which just listening to what her dietitian is recommending her to do. And in this diet, she is going to be eating 30 grams of fiber, 85 grams of fat, 100 grams of protein, 190 to 220 grams of carbs, all while hitting about 2,200 to 2,500 calories a day. And like, that's cool. I don't know. That's between her and her dietitian. I know nothing about any of those things other than what works for me personally. She said that she is finally admitting that she is, quote, putting everything she thought she knew about weight loss in the trash and moving forward with what the program is telling her to do, which I think is a great step in the right direction for her, because I think that's where she gets hung up a lot, is that she has all of these like preconceived ideas and like about weight loss that she's been taught in the past and everything, which I struggled with this too. For those of you that don't know, I had weight loss surgery 5 years ago and I lost 100 pounds. And so I'm really excited to see if this is going to work or not. She also mentioned that she feels gaslit by her audience, like critiquing the food that she eats when she shows them in her videos, which like literally isn't gaslighting. I think it's weird because like if you put what you're eating in videos, then like people are going to talk about it, which is one of the main reasons I don't show what I eat in videos a lot of the time. So that was that video. That's all she really talked about. And I was like, sweet. Happy to hear we're focusing on that now. The video that really got me wanting to start like a recap of all of this was her video called Weigh In Trauma Made Me Fat. Now, this is a Q&A video where she answers questions sent in by her viewers. And in this one, she talks pretty openly about how she has always turned to food throughout her whole life for comfort. And a lot of that was because of the trouble that she experienced in her childhood with her family and everything. And like I've said before in the past, I am never ever going to discount her experiences with that, because it does not sound like it was a good time for her at all. And I see that like for sure. In this video, she also talks about how she has gained weight since her last weigh-in, and now she weighed in at 523 pounds. She says that her scale wasn't weighing her correctly, and so she thought she weighed less than she did. She mentions that she thought she was like somewhere in the 400s. For reference, when she started her weight loss surgery journey in 2023, she weighed 520 pounds. So yes, she has lost weight, but she has gained it all back. And she talks about how she's like more than okay with this. And for me, it seems like she's kind of trying to justify it to herself, which I am no stranger to either. She says that she's ready to start again because she's now really following what her dietitian tells her to do. And it feels like a fresh start to her for some reason. So obviously her gaining weight while she's been talking about being on the weight loss surgery plan is like not a good thing. And I think it only further proves that her clinic making her wait an entire year was the best option and the best choice for her. Because the amount of food that like you have to eat to even maintain 520 pounds is like a lot of food. And so I think she has not gotten her diet under control yet. And like she said, her previous like hopeful timeline was to have her surgery by summer, which we're approaching. And I think she really would have hurt herself if her clinic didn't make her wait. What really got me about this video was the title. And I know that it was probably meant to be like a troll or a joke or whatever. I really think that it's pretty reflective of like her mindset right now towards her weight and all of that, which the title of the video was again, trauma was weigh in and trauma made me fat, right? I've talked a bit about how I find it interesting that Amber finds a lot of self-identity in her different mental health diagnoses, and I get that to an extent, but I've never really come out and said that like I feel like she uses them as a crutch to kind of explain why things happen and why she gains weight and why she can't lose weight and that kind of stuff. Because yes, she has all of these things and she had a horrific childhood. And like I said, I'm never going to take that away from her. I'm never going to question her on that. But as someone who deals with various different mental health things, I have come to the point where I know that, yes, I can have these mental health diagnoses and I can have these things going on with my noodle, but ultimately it's up to me to figure out how to accept them and move forward with them and figure out how to make them affect my life as little as possible. And I'll be talking about this in a video later, but I recently got diagnosed with OCD, which wasn't a surprise to me, but having a psychiatrist officially diagnosed me with that brought a lot of comfort to me and a lot of relief and understanding to me, for me, with like how I have been acting or how I've been processing and experiencing life recently. But also it's made me really reflect on the past and how it makes so much sense with certain things that have happened in the past as well. It's so nice to finally get a diagnosis, like, especially if you like suspect you have something. I tend to like convince myself that I'm just like being weird and like I really don't have any of these things. So it's nice to hear a medical professional like tell you, yes, you exhibit behaviors that reflect XYZ. Because in hindsight, like OCD has affected everything in my life, like my overall health, my weight, my friendships, my relationships, my financial health, everything it has affected. And in some ways, it has not been good. Like the effects of it has not been good on my life or in my relationships or whatever. It'd be so easy for me to be like, oh, OCD has caused XYZ problems in my life, and then move on, not do anything to like fix it or find coping mechanisms or anything like that. It'd be really easy just to be like, oh, this is why I did that. This is why this is happening. This is why I am where I am, and just not move on and not try and like heal from it. Not that you can really heal from it, but not try and work through it and work on it. You know, it'd be easy. It would be a lot less mentally taxing, but instead, I am going to be bringing it all to therapy now that I have been officially diagnosed. I've already kind of started talking about some of it in therapy, but now that I've been officially diagnosed, I'm bringing it to therapy. I'm also starting medication. That's another thing. Really think that a big part of a mental health diagnosis and a mental health journey, for lack of a better word, is really learning how to accept these things, the effects that they've had on your life, but also how to manage it in your life from the moment of diagnosis and the future, right? And I think that's one thing that Amber does not know how to do or just doesn't want to do, is like, yes, she also has OCD and OCPD, and she uses them as an explanation for certain things as to why she doesn't do certain things or why she does do certain things. But I don't think she realizes that part of getting a mental health diagnosis, which she has gotten a lot of, like I said a million times before, is accepting it, learning how to manage it in your life and help it, and learn how to make it affect you like, or the least amount that it can as possible, because that's how you live with mental illness. I've been diagnosed with depression and anxiety since I was 16, and my chronic illness since I was 16, my chronic fatigue, and a big part of that treatment has been learning how to make it work in my everyday life. It's hard, it sucks. Sometimes you just have to take the L and move on certain things, and that's it. And I think a lot of it too is learning how to manage your triggers, knowing what triggers you, how to stay away from it as much as possible. And if you know you're going to be in a situation that is going to trigger you, kind of mentally prepare so it doesn't affect you or the people around you, because that's also important. And I am by no means saying that I am like the poster child for like mental health treatment and that I've got it all figured out, because I sure as hell do not. But it's just something that I have noticed in Amber's recent videos, and that I've seen other people talking about in the comments of my other videos as well, and that I really wanted to kind of expand on, because this is something that is relevant to my life like right now. Like I just got diagnosed a few days ago, and yeah, I will say in the video about how like trauma made her fat and stuff, which also I do think trauma and everything is a valid reason or explanation for certain things, absolutely. But again, it's all about learning how to accept that those things have happened to you and how to move forward. And it's really, really hard. And I had to do it a lot last year with my essay that I talked about in my Sonali video. It took a lot of mental work and a lot of letting myself feel feelings, which is really hard sometimes. And yeah, it sucks. It's not easy, but it only benefits you in the long run. And it's a really, really important part of healing. In this video, she does talk about how she fully intends on continuing therapy after her like mandatory appointments to get weight loss surgery are done, which I think is great. I've been screaming internally that she needs to go to therapy consistently ever since I started watching her, which was like years ago. And I'm really happy that she seems to be taking it seriously. And yeah, so that's that on that. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. The next video was titled Final Binge Diagnosis Update, Going Back on Medication and I Might Be Suffering with PTSD. And in this video, she says that her psychologist has told her that she doesn't binge and that she agrees that she does not have binge eating disorder. But then she continues to go on and say that, quote, obviously you don't get to my size by overeating. And she says it in like a joking way. I'm going to be honest with you, like I still don't fully buy that she's never had binge eating disorder. I don't think that it's accurate saying that she's never had BED or anything like that, but that is ultimately between her and her doctors, and I don't want to speculate on it too much more than that. But I was happy that she is going to be starting to treat possible PTSD because, again, I say all the time in my videos that getting your brain sorted out before you have weight loss surgery is crucial. And so I'm really happy that she's kind of starting to realize all of these things about herself and work through them in therapy. And that's ultimately what I wanted to say in this video about that. So that's like all of the updates on the weight loss surgery video or weight loss surgery stuff. But I wanted to talk about one more thing that happened because it's really been like making me sad and kind of bothering me. And that is this video where called I'm Done and Come Shopping With Me, and it was a vlog. It opens up with like some pretty boring content of like her just doing her hair and like talking to her girlfriend off camera, whatever. But then she goes in to her PO box unboxing and with a disclaimer saying that the clip that she's about to show is not usually the kind of clip that she would keep in her videos, but she feels like, quote, enough is enough, and that she needs to show the kind of bullying and fat phobia that she experiences on her channel and just doesn't talk about. She then shows the clip, and it's her unboxing like a coffee cake, I think, and like a loaf of bread from a locally owned bakery in Kansas called Strawberry Hill, and I believe that someone on Reddit did the math and that these things, not including shipping, cost about $80, and shipping would also be very expensive because it is perishable, and so like it was going to be very expensive. She then goes on to like rant and kind of throw a tantrum about how she thinks it's a troll, and then goes on to talk about how this is the kind of thing she has to deal with constantly. She thinks it's a troll because like she mentioned like in 2 videos in the past like 4 months that she would prefer that people not send her food to her PO box, which I totally understand because it can trigger her. I need to note that she does not have it stated anywhere, at least she didn't at the time of me looking at this. She doesn't have it stated anywhere around the address of her PO box that she does not want food sent to her. She's really only mentioned it in like a couple of videos that I'm aware of. I can absolutely understand that getting sent food and stuff when you've asked before not to would be frustrating, and how it can be seen as bad taste overall. But like, I really don't think this was a troll, because like, why would a troll spend $80 on 2 things from a bakery and not just send her like a box of Twinkies or something, you know? Like, I really have a hard time believing that this was a troll. But what got me was that the business in question, Strawberry Hill Bakery in Kansas, is also being affected by this. And I believe that the owner commented on her videos saying how sorry they were that their products were used for malicious intent. I think they also had to like disable the comments on their videos because people were being people. And I'm not sure if this was also in place like before this happened, but now on their website it says that you can't send food or you can't send anything from their website to a PO box unless you place the order over the phone. And I also just felt like really bad for the person that sent this to her, because she didn't like, I feel like she just missed it. Like I feel like she missed it and that it was not a troll. And I cannot imagine how sad the person who sent this to her must have been with this like outrageous reaction to it. And I say it's outrageous because like, I know it's annoying and I'm astonished that Amber has not learned this in like a decade of making videos. But a lot of times making content on platforms like YouTube and whatever is a lot of repetition, especially if you're talking about yourself. You're gonna get new viewers here and there, especially when you have a platform of hundreds of thousands of subscribers like she does. And you're gonna get new people all the time who don't know what you've said in the past because they don't go watch your previous videos or they just haven't watched all of your videos. And so it's a lot of repetition. And so I think ultimately, and I get that it can feel annoying and redundant, I really do, but I think ultimately it's the creator's responsibility to vocalize things, especially if it's things that are pertinent to like their well-being mentally. It's the creator's responsibility to have to make reminders about certain things, especially when it comes to things like PO boxes and stuff like that, because not everybody's going to watch all of your videos. And when you make PO box unboxings part of your like regularly scheduled content, I think it is ultimately your responsibility to constantly make reminders of like, hey, please don't send me XYZ because it really affects me mentally and I want to keep this going because it's really fun. And because I really genuinely do not think this was a troll. Like I really don't. And I just feel really bad for the person that sent this to her. And I also feel really bad for this bakery because they've been open. I looked at their website and they've been open for like 100 years. I will say that they do have a Mother's Day sale going on right now. I'll have the bakery linked down below. And I think it's like buy one, get one or something crazy like that, which their products are really expensive. So that seems like a good deal. And I absolutely would buy something if I was not losing weight right now. And I know I could absolutely fuck up one of those coffee cakes by myself because for some reason my bariatric stomach allows me to eat sugary foods and baked goods like nobody's business. I get how Amber could be triggered by this and I get it, but I think her reaction was, I don't want to say a lot because women are called a lot too much, but like it was a lot, and I think she kind of just missed the mark on it. And if it was like a box of Twinkies or something that was clearly a troll, then yes, go at it, feel your feelings. But I feel like this was just a little bit much, not knowing the context. And maybe there was context that she just didn't talk about, like maybe there was a card or something. I don't know, but I just have a hard time believing that a troll would spend $80 to troll somebody with baked goods. I don't know, maybe that's just me being ignorant. But that's all I had to say. I just wanted to make a silly little goofy video catching up on all of this stuff, especially the cake thing, because that just had me like reeling. And yeah, so that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, drink your water, take your meds, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.